Here are the supplies you're going to need for today's project. First of all, I have an outer piece of fabric cut 14 inches by 11 inches. You'll need a lining piece of fabric that's cut 14 inches by 11 inches, and also fusible fleece or batting cut 14 inches by 11 inches. You'll also need 2 little scraps of fabric that's 2.5 inches by 2.5 inches. You'll need 2 of those. I have a 14-inch zipper, which will adjust that on down a little bit, but at least a 14-inch zipper. You'll need your fabric scissors. I have scissors to clip my threads. You'll need adhesive spray if you're using quilt batting. You'll need clips, pins, and or. You'll need your iron, an ironing board, your ruler, and cutting mat, of course, and your sewing machine. So let's grab all this stuff and get started on our project. First, we're going to take our outer piece of fabric, and if you're using directional fabric, make sure that you have the short end, the 11 inches across at the top, and then 14 inches down this way. Ask me how I know. But anyway, we're going to take our top piece and lay it on top of our piece of batting. And you can use fusible fleece, or I'm using batting. So what we're going to do is spray some adhesive basting spray on there and just press that down. And then do the other side the same way. Now, I'm going to take this to my sewing machine, and I'm going to run some lines across it, just some easy quilting. You can run straight across, you can run down, you can do diagonal lines. I'm just going to do some free-handed, so I'll do that, and I'll be right back. Next, we're going to work on our little tab pieces. These are 2.5 by 2.5, and what we're going to do is fold this in half and press it. And then open it up, and then fold each side into that little crease that we just ironed. Fold that side and press, and then fold this side in to the line and press. And then we're going to fold it one more time and press it again. Now we can take it to our sewing machine and just run a little stitch right down through here to seal it up. Now we're going to set this one aside and do the other one the same way. Now we're going to take our outer piece, and we want our short top up here. And we're going to take our zipper, and we're going to line it up with the left edge over here, the edge of our zipper with the left edge, and then come over here. And I had marked this zipper just a little bit past the fabric, but we need it just a little bit before the end of the fabric there. You can take a pencil or a pen, and what we're going to do is take this to our sewing machine, and we're just going to run a stitch back and forth across through there a couple times. And then we'll come back, and then we'll trim the excess of our zipper off. I've sewn across the zipper right there, and now I'm just going to clip the zipper off, the excess. Now what we're going to do is get our top piece of fabric and make sure that your 11 inches is going across this way and your 14 inches is going down this way. And what we're going to do is take our zipper and place it right side down at the top. And if you don't know what right side up and right side down is with a zipper, the right side up is the part that has the little zipper pull on it. So we're going to put that face down and put it at the top and clip it. Make sure your edges are lined up. Clip all the way across. And now we're going to take our lining piece and we're going to put it face down. And just join that in our little clip part. And we're going to take it to our sewing machine and sew right along the edge. After we get this sewed, we're going to flip our lining to the back. And we're going to take this to our ironing board and we're going to press this on both sides, and then we're going to take it to our sewing machine and run a top stitch right along through here. The next thing we're going to do is place our outer fabric right side up, and we're going to go down here to the bottom and just pull the outer fabric up to where it is right sides together with itself. And we're going to line up our edges and we're going to clip. But before we sew, you might want to unzip your zipper just a little ways. And when you start sewing, when you come to this zipper pull, raise your presser foot and then zip it back this way, and then lower your presser foot and just keep sewing. So that's what we'll do, is just line everything up and clip it, and then we'll take it to the sewing machine and sew it. The next thing we're going to do is flip it over where our lining is showing. And you want your zipper to be pulled about halfway over. And we're going to take the bottom of our lining and we're going to flip it up also to where it's right sides together. And we're going to line this up across the top and we're going to clip it. And we're going to do something a little different this time. After you get it lined up and clipped, we're going to leave a space, about a 2.5, 3-inch space right here, and we're going to leave this open. So what we're going to do, we're going to back stitch and sew to right here and back stitch. Leave about a 2.5 to 3-inch space open, and make sure your zipper pull is in this space. And then back stitch right here and then stitch here. Just leave this open. Before we press this, I meant to tell you, this little 2.5 or 3-inch hole that we made here, we need to leave that open. So after we press this and take it to our sewing machine to do this top stitch through here, we just want to do like we did with the side that we just done. Back stitch, sew to here, back stitch, leave this open, back stitch, and sew to the end and back stitch. It should be looking something like this. And what we need to do now is zip up our zipper, and we're going to reach in and flatten this down. And we're going to take our little tabs and we're going to fold them. And the rough edge, we're going to put it right here in the center with the little tab pointing inside. And we're going to clip that in place. And we're going to do that to both sides. And we're just going to sew right along the edge on both sides and just sew these little tabs in place. Also, make sure before you sew this little tab in place that you're just sewing through the one side and not all the way to the other side. Now we're going to open our zipper and we're going to reach in and go from the side, actually, and we're going to turn our bag wrong side out again. And we want to have our outer fabric on one side and our lining fabric on the other. We want to line up our middle seam here and clip it. And then we want to mark where our fabric folds on all 4 of your corners. Now that we've marked all 4 corners, we're going to turn our bag this way, and what we're going to do, we're just going to stretch this out like this, and we're going to line up our little line here, a corner line, and then this back line here, and we're going to clip it all the way across. We're going to do that on both ends. Oops. And then we're going to take it to our sewing machine, and we're going to sew right along here and right along here, both places, about a 1/4 inch seam. Now we're going to box our corners, and what we need to do in all 4 corners, we need to measure and start at the seam line, not at the very edge of our fabric. We're going to start at our seam line and measure over 1.5 inches, just right there. And we're going to do that in all 4 corners. After you've got your corners marked, we're going to cut out each corner. After you've cut out all 4 corners, then we're going to take this back to our sewing machine and sew a small stitch right in here, a couple back stitches, and then a couple back stitches right in here. That way it'll seal that up where we had cut off our seam right there. Now we're going to take our corners and we're going to fold our outer fabric like so. And we're going to pull this corner around. That is our lining. And we're going to line it up also. And get it all even and lined up with our corner. And we're going to clip this. I know I still need to line this up good, but you get the idea. And then we're going to sew right through here, a 1/4 inch seam. And it'll take just a little bit to get this straight and everything, but just waller it around there, you'll get it. And we're going to do this to all 4 corners. I have boxed all 4 corners and trimmed the excess without cutting into my seam line. And now we're going to find our hole that was close to our zipper here, and we're going to turn our bag and just do it really easy. And this is my favorite part. And you'll need to just poke out your corners. How cute is that? And our last step, we're going to go in and clip this right here. This is our hole in our zipper line. And we're just going to clip that and just do a top stitch right along through here to seal that up. And that's how you make a quilted boxy zipper pouch. Isn't that the cutest thing? And you can use this to put makeup in, or pencils, or any kind of little craft supplies, crochet hooks or whatever. But if you've liked my video, please like and subscribe to my channel, and we'll see you soon.